Welcome to the Chain Out Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Daryl.
The technical wizard is at it again here, and welcome to the Chain Out Podcast, Season 2, Episode 98. We're back here with you. You know what it was? We were watching the Jays game. Sorry about that, guys. We got a little
we're watching
fresh
the
with the
score.
buttons. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
No. Not at all, but we do know the score. If you need to know it, let us know. Welcome, everybody. We see the chat filled up even before we got to the podcast. That's always nice to see.
It is. Yeah. It takes me 77 comments and we haven't even started. It's going to be an awesome episode.
That's fantastic. And welcome to everybody who's in there. Who did we see? We saw Doc Sen, of course.
Tanya, Sonia, Sam is in there. Andrea's in there. I think Dylan's in the chat as well. Probably a few others.
Fantastic. Well, that's good to see. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. We've got a good one for you tonight, Daryl. Who do we got coming on?
Yeah, tonight we got two guests for you. Tanya, Ramsay, and Chris Beatty from Newcastle Disc Golf. Yeah, they're going to be joining us probably in around 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, it'll be good. But we got a bit of a top show for you. Last week, you might notice things are back to normal. Last week, I was in a hotel room. I was down in the US of A. Yeah, normal, quote unquote normal. Is that what that was?
Yeah. That was just for the video listeners.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. But I was down there. I was in Tennessee. Where I was in Tennessee, Memphis area is right on the border of Mississippi and Arkansas. So I was staying in Mississippi and I got a chance to get one round in at a very cool little course called Central Park Disc Golf in South Haven, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Added a new one to my U-Disc, another basket on the map.
All about.
I do like that. And I brought 5 discs down with me down to Mississippi to Tennessee. And I showed up at the course and I had a plastic bag because they still use plastic bags down there from the grocery store. And I walked up with my plastic bag to these 2 people who were practicing at the basket. And I'm like, please don't judge me because I have 5 discs in a plastic bag. I'm actually okay at disc golf. Can I play with you?
Yeah.
And credit to them, they were the nicest people. They took me out there. Ended up being a guy named Austin, another guy, John, and then later on, another gentleman, Jordan, joined us, and they were like the best ambassadors for the course.
Right.
Great players too, really good players. So Austin, the one guy who started out, he was kind of the head of the group. He was the one who was telling me all about the course and everything else.
Yeah.
He's throwing a Trust, an NV, and a PA3.
Wow.
Those are the 3 discs. He's got 3 discs. That's all he's carrying. That's all he's throwing on this course. And I'm thinking the Trust is like a 9-speed or something.
Right. No.
Is it not?
No, a Trust is a 5502, like a mid-range, I think. 55, something like that. Yeah.
Well, this guy was throwing it like it was a 9-speed. It was insane. He was flexing this thing over and flipping it. It was amazing.
Wow.
So that was good. And then this Jordan gentleman who joined us, he could throw just as far or further than any players we play with here locally.
Right.
Like he was throwing 13 speeds. And when you see someone throw a 13 speed at a 13 arm speed, it's pretty impressive how far those discs go.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So they did that. And then John was the nicest guy of the bunch in my mind a little bit.
Right.
Just because, he was just...
favorites.
I wasn't meant to have favorites, but he just threw a little bit less far than them. So it was some lines that were maybe almost reachable for me. So they had said when we got started, they said, okay, well, we're going to be playing longs. So, but you can play shorts if you want. And I'm like, well, when in Rome, I'm like, the longs, how long are the longs going to be? I play the longs at Hermitage. We play longs. What am I worried about?
Yeah.
And then he goes, and Austin says to me, you know that Isaac Robinson was down here earlier in the summer.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. Player. I think he's on that DGPT thing.
Something like that.
Yeah. Apparently he shot a -7 from the longs. And then I kind of went,
Yeah. So a 2-time world champion shoots -7.
On a park course.
On a park course.
From the longs.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if I got myself in a little bit over my head, but no, it ended up being pretty good that way. I was okay. I did score like a +8 or something like that. But it turns out that...
So you're saying there's only 15 strokes difference between you and Isaac. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And I was like, well, why would this guy know that Isaac was down? Like, what was Isaac doing down there? But it turns out that Austin's brothers own 1010 Disc, which is a
Right.
disc golf store down
Yeah.
there. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, I've heard of them. Sometimes on the Pro Tour, when you're watching a whole breakdown or whatever, like they have T signs just after the tee pads.
Right.
So yeah, I know them.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know they were a disc golf store, but I know I've seen them.
Yeah. So they're down there in kind of South Haven, Horn Lake, Mississippi.
Right.
And apparently the reason Isaac was there is because they actually sponsor Isaac Robinson, and he
right.
was out visiting the store and
Right.
playing the local course.
Well, there you go.
So, that was all right. And I had heard of 1010 Disc. It was familiar enough to me.
Mhm.
And they told me that the next time I'm down that way, because I didn't have a lot of time, I just have to walk in the store and
Wow.
tell them I'm that Canadian guy, and they'll give me
Right.
the grand tour. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. But even more exciting, Daryl,
Mm-hmm.
I gave them out some stickers of the podcast.
Good. I'm glad.
Proud of me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And doing a little self promotion. And I found out that Austin,
Yeah.
down in Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, "Are you the guys where your
No.
co-host does those origin story things?"
Really?
Is what he said to me.
Right.
And I'm like, "Well, I do the origin story. My co-host does the desert island." He's like, "Yeah, you guys. I've
Really?
listened to your show before."
Wow.
Yeah, so I
That's
was
amazing.
super. As my voice is getting high here, I was so
Yeah.
excited about it.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess he had watched our Kevin Fodry episode.
Okay,
so,
that makes sense.
I'm talking to an American there, but
Yeah.
no, it was awesome. So I'm really excited. Hopefully, with the way things are going with my work right now, it might afford me a little bit more travel.
Right.
And yeah, I definitely want to go back and check out the store for sure.
That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Like we know when you look at, you can look at YouTube or Spotify or whatever, and it can say, 90% of your listeners are in Canada and 10% are through whatever the percentages might be. But, I just assume it's like people like Doc and, when you watch our episodes down in America sort of thing, like that might be the percentages. But to actually know that there's other people that watch our episodes or an episode that have actually heard of us anyway. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Totally cool. That was awesome. I see Doc asking me if I brought home some tariff-free discs, but I'll tell you, Doc, it was all I could do to get 5 discs into my carry-on bag. I'm going to have to check a bag next time if I go down, but
Yeah.
either that or I'm going to start buying discs and leaving them down there if I get to go to the same spot more often.
Yeah.
Maybe, but we'll see. And what about you, Daryl? What's been going on with you in the last little bit?
Yeah, just to follow up on that, Sam says if you're going down again, he's sending you with a shopping list and American cash.
Certainly. If we can do that, Sam, and we can all chip in to get me an extra bag, it can pretty much be empty.
There you go.
And we'll just fill it up and bring discs back.
It's got to be something illegal about that.
No, I don't think so. A bag of discs?
I've been practicing. So we talked about it before. There's a get in, get out, get rated event happening this weekend. It's happening on Sunday, Thanksgiving weekend. I think we talked about it before. I'm taking the big step. I'm putting on my big boy pants and I'm jumping up to MP40.
Ooh.
So in that, I'd already known that at one of our courses, there's only one tee pad, so we're all going to be playing the same layout. But at the other course, Hermitage, there is a red and a blue.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm playing the MP40, apparently that classes me the same as MPO and MA1 and all the big arms.
Well.
So I am practicing the blue layout at Hermitage. So yeah, I've been getting out and playing both, back and forth. Tanya, who's in the chat, she's going to be playing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we can be getting out practicing both courses and yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to ask, how was playing from the blues? Has that been easy, hard? Like, how's the adjustment been? Because normally we'll play the reds.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that a couple of the holes, they only have the one tee pad, but some of them sorry that you were laughing there. Some of them
Some of
them have the same tee pads, but some of them, like the length and distance of the shot, some of them are a little bit on an angle, so it makes a trickier shot.
Right.
But for the most part, there's not that much of a longer distance from the tee pads. But believe me, I'm adding at least when I go there, I can probably shoot -5, -6 or -7 from the reds.
Wow.
I've been shooting +5 to +8. No, well, I say +2 to +8 from the blues. So I've been adding some extra strokes, but.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. And I also heard that, Rundle League kind of finished up, which is the league you were playing in. So does that mean, did I hear correctly that there might have been a windfall coming your way? You're going to retire?
Well, yes.
You're not going to have to work anymore?
Exactly. I mean, that's what, once you cash once, you have to go up to pro, right?
Yeah.
No, it was in our league, after the first 10 rounds, you get divided up into tiers. And then you play the rest of the seasons in your own tier, and the top 40% of your tier gets a cash payout. and I was in the top 40% of my division. So yeah,
Nice.
bagged $168.
Ooh, in those, what do we usually say? Cold, cool Canadian
Those
bucks?
sweet American, or yeah, but
The
this was in
colored
Canadian.
funny money?
Exactly, in the Monopoly money. It was about $10 American, so it doesn't even matter really.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Well, as we've been doing so regularly, we always want to highlight a Canadian disc golf event. And this week, we're going to highlight the LDGA Fall Classic. That took place down in Lethbridge, Alberta. That was the Lethbridge Disc Golf Association Fall Classic. That happened over the weekend down at Nick Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're both getting to start to know a lot more now every time we go down there and play Spring Runoff.
That's right.
Hi, Dina. Of course, we're getting to know from Spring Runoff, as I just said that, right?
How did we get to know that course?
Apparently, we played it at Spring Runoff. So this event was the final stop on the 2025 Cold Garden Cup Tour. Now, Noah Higgins took down the MPO win with a total score of -27 over 3 rounds. And Joe Henderson took down the win on the FPO side with a final score of +6.
Yeah. Well,
Now, not only did Noah and Joe both take down the win, they also took down the win for this year's Cold Garden Cup for MPO and FPO respectively.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome for the two of them. And it's crazy. -27 for Noah. We know that that's his local home course. And I did notice that the MPOs played only 1 round of blues and 2 rounds of whites.
Mm-hmm.
But even from whites, because we played whites,
Yeah.
Noah, I think it was first round, first hole, the big long par 5. Yeah, got an eagle on that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's Noah Higgins for you.
Yeah.
So on top of that, both Noah and Joe have had quite the comeback season this year. Like they both were suffering from some adversity in their lives last year, injury and things, and they both come back so strong. Noah played 22 events so far this year. He's on his way down to, well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But so far this year, he won 9 of them. He was on the podium for 7 more.
Yeah.
And then was top 10 for the balance.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a good year.
Oh, wait. 3 of those wins that he did? Yeah, they were Canadian A-tier wins.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then let's just take a look at Joe's season. So she played 19 events this year, and she won all of them but 2.
Right.
But 2. Yeah. And she took down an A-tier this year as well. So
yeah,
congrats to both Noah and to Joe.
Congrats. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an going down south of the border. It was an off week on the Pro Tour this week.
Mm-hmm.
Chantel Badinsky was down in Charlotte, down there in North Carolina, at a Carolina Clash.
Mm-hmm.
It's in local A-tier down there. She took down 3rd place in the tournament. She took home 538 of those American dollars.
Yeah, and she had a little competition in that tournament. Owen Scoggins won it, so
well, there you go.
Just a little.
Finished 3rd behind Owen. It's
the world's best in both FP40 and FPO.
Exactly. So coming up now, the US DGC and Throw Pink tournament starts tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what, Jeremy? We have 6 Canadians representing us down there.
That's got to be the most in combination of MPO, FPO. We've had a lot in other divisions, but just MPO, FPO, I don't think we've had 6 in a DGPT event this year.
Yeah, I don't think we have. Yeah.
No.
So you can watch them this weekend. Let's give a bit of a shout out. MPO side, we've got Thomas Gilbert, and you mentioned him already. Noah Higgins was going to be down there as well.
Yeah.
On the FPO side, we've got Chantel Badinsky. Miss Frisbees is going to be down there. Sophia Donica, Rebecca Don, and Colleen McInnes. They're all going to be down there playing this weekend. Be sure to go and follow their socials. Check them out. Follow along PDGA Live. Well, give them good wishes.
Yeah. I always say, fill up their comments. Really put in, check and see how their rounds did. Send them some support or some congratulations. It does go a long way, and lots of times after their rounds that might be just what they need to get ready for the next day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we've got guests waiting, and we'd like to do our top of shows quickly as we can when we have guests.
Yeah.
So let's keep on moving along.
Keep on moving.
And it's giveaway time, and we've got a wheel to spin for a lovely Falcons Flight fanny pack, a pound fanny pack, and this amazing towel that's sitting here, this Innova flight towel. Is that what they call it?
That's a flight towel, yeah.
All right. Well, let's see who won.
Okay, are you ready for this?
There was so much engagement. Hey,
we had
Facebook, Instagram.
Patreon automatically get entered.
Yeah, Patreon gets in.
Here we go.
Was there like somebody in witness protection there for a minute?
I don't know what that was, but congratulations to
Miguel Alvarado. So he might be familiar with one of these packs.
Well, but he didn't get one because he would have played in the Pro Division.
Oh, that's right.
So that's why I thought it was funny, because he played in Falcons Flight.
Yeah.
He would have seen people wearing them and you know, on the bags, and everybody had these towels, but he didn't get a chance to have one. Maybe he could have seen Daisy, because she would have been playing in FA1 or FA2 division, and she would have got a player's pack. So now, there you go. Congratulations, Miguel. You get one as well.
Congrats, Migs. So that's all good. We'll make sure you get the flight towel. That came out of my AM pack. Now, here's the thing with the fanny pack. This is the one that I got in my AM pack, and I'm most happy to give that away. But Don Annette was the one who said he would donate a fanny pack. And I'm going to borrow a little bit of a line here from the movie Seven, if you remember the movie Seven.
I do.
So, Mig, you can have this one, Miguel, the green and brown one, or you can have... What's in the box? What's in the box? We're not going to tell you what color the one that Don Annette is going to send, so you can tell us either blind or take that one.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
then on top of that, the next thing we got going on is we have the 4 discs from Judge Havoc. They're kind of laid out in front of us here.
Yeah.
We will get a post up for those. We're going to do 2 giveaways. There's 4 discs. A giveaway for each disc twice. How's that work? 2 discs and 2 discs.
Yes.
That's how we'll do it. They're all signed. They're all his designs on Gateway discs. Fantastic giveaway that he gave to us at Nationals. So we'll get that going. We've got our 500 subscriber giveaway. Daryl, we got to put a post up to show everybody all the awesome stuff.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
The problem is you keep giving away stuff. We don't have a chance to kind of focus and look forward. It's every time that we're going to do something, you're like, yeah, I got this. I want to give it away. Okay, Daryl, can you do a post for this? Can we give this away? Daryl, have you done the wheel yet for that giveaway? Can we give it away now, Daryl?
It's true. It is true. We like to give stuff away, but we'll get a post up. That'll hopefully drive people to make fake accounts or whatever they have to do to get us to 500 subscribers.
Right. Once we give away the Judge Havoc stuff, I'm going to put a ban. We're going to get rid of the 500, and then we're going to go on to the next stuff.
And then it's the next. Okay, sounds good. Of course, we're sponsored. We got 2 awesome sponsors for you, BR Disc Golf and Chain Out in Cardinal Disc Golf. Use the code Chain Out at either of them. Get 10% off when you check out. When we talked to Cardinal Disc Golf, Kevin had said that the team applications are still open. So if you want to be part of Team Cardinal like we were this year, great product, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we really like it. And after that, why don't you stay tuned, hey?
Yeah, stay tuned as always. After our Chain Out episode, we'll be doing our Patreon episode. We have an Around the Basket episode for you, where we'll be chatting disc golf. You might have a little quiz for me. We won't going to talk too much about that right now. But
I got to tease people, because sometimes people like the quizzes. Some people are like, nah, lukewarm on the quiz. I went to ChatGPT and I worked. I know.
I'm already checked out, but go on.
I worked hard with ChatGPT. We had a very good conversation together. My new best friend, Chatty G. So me and Chatty G came up with a quiz that is based on the Chain Out podcast. It's a deep dive. It's multiple choice. And the best thing about it is that some questions are pretty good.
Yeah.
And some, I don't even think they're right. I don't even. So join us and see if you can help us decipher what Chatty G said to us. So.
I am interested to find out how that is going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our guests are ready to go?
Yep, they're in the green room. They've eaten all the M&Ms. They've drank all the water. I think they're leaving, Jeremy. We better bring them in.
We better really get them in here.
Get them in.
All right. So tonight's guests hail from Bowmanville, Ontario. They've been PDGA members since 2022. In 3 short years since they've been PDGA members, they've managed not only to play disc golf, but also coach high school disc golf, promote women's disc golf, and run one of Ontario's most fun and challenging disc golf courses, Newcastle Disc Golf. We are excited to have Tanya Ramsay and Chris Beatty on the podcast. Hey.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, how are
Thanks
you
for having us.
Yeah.
We're
absolutely.
fantastic. We noticed that we were sort of matchy-matchy. We've got the black and blue going on just like you.
There you go. It was meant to be.
Yeah, there you go. It's almost like we don't go that deep dive into our intro email, right? But it's almost like it must have been fate this way.
Exactly.
And then, so Chris, tell us if we did okay. We didn't know if you were much like Dick Tracy. Is it like Chris Beatty, like Warren Beatty, or is it Chris Beatty? Which way should we have been saying it?
Yeah, you had it correct with Beatty, Beatty, Beatty. Yeah, not like Ned. Well, Ned Beatty. Do you remember Deliverance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get laughing if we go too far down that road.
Indeed, yes. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for joining us tonight. We know that it must have been a tough decision with the Blue Jays competing right now, and
Yes.
just to give everybody a bit of an update. You know what? I closed the window, so
2-1?
I think it's 2-1 at the moment. Yeah.
Or at least it was the last time we checked.
Let me
So
bring it back up again. It's still
There's
2-1.
another reason for the blue.
yeah,
There you go.
that's it for sure.
Yeah. So obviously you're both Blue Jays fans as well, then.
Absolutely.
I mean, bandwagon, jump on with
Yeah.
everyone else. Yeah. But yeah, go Jays, go.
Yeah. There you go. My type of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we were both down for nationals a couple of weeks ago, we were so caught up in all the disc golf action that we were playing that we didn't really get a chance to explore Newcastle beyond the course that we played. Now, we also checked out the Tim Hortons and we also checked out the grocery store. But did we miss out on maybe the beach, the marina, any other attractions that we should have taken in while we were down there?
Well, Bowmanville itself, it's not a
The
big
creek.
attraction. Yeah,
We've got a beautiful creek, and the salmon are running like crazy right now.
that's true.
So
Right.
I'd say that would have been a highlight.
Yeah.
But having checked out the 3 local courses and heading up north to Peterborough, you saw the best of the region for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
There
on
you
the
go.
edge.
Yeah.
So we're known for apple growing region, so it's busy time of year for harvesting apples. Yeah, it's a nice part of Ontario.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, it's starting to get cold over here in Alberta right now. So Jeremy and I are looking for any excuse just to get back to where there's warmer weather.
Well,
Yeah.
it's been like summer here. We just played Lucky Lines tournament there in Guelph last weekend,
Mm.
and it was 28 degrees and excruciatingly hot. It was incredible. But now we're down to more seasonal temperatures. We had a bit of rainfall, and we might start to get some frosty nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Daryl, too, the other thing, if we wanted to get back out there to check something out, do you remember we went to that that kind of neat food wagon
yeah.
alley
Yeah.
where we
Oh,
found
that's
that
a
one
good
there?
spot.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool because everybody had the world's best everything, and they were all set up for the year. It wasn't like they just pulled in for a day.
Oh, yeah. No, they were permanent almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an incredible stop.
Mhm.
And you're right
Mhm.
next to lots of farms. The farms are going crazy right now with the kids and the family and the pumpkins. So maybe a place you want to avoid unless you're bringing your any littles along.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Chris and Tanya, at the start of our interviews, we
Can just want to interject. Does
Sure.
anybody want to know the score?
oh
Yes.
yeah,
It's now 4-1 Jays.
woo, go Jays!
There you go. Sorry, I didn't want
Yeah,
to
that's a
interrupt
good thing to do that ahead of
I
time.
will interrupt throughout the evening.
Anytime
Yeah, we'll
you
get it.
check with that.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody if they didn't want to know, but
Well, yeah.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's breaking news, that's for sure. So you guys, if you've seen any of our episodes, you know that we like to start with getting to a little bit, what am I trying to say?
Origin story.
The origin story,
There
yeah,
you go.
to get a little bit more of your story. But on the Channel Podcast, we don't just come out and ask you how'd you get into disc golf. That would be boring. So we create this fictitious origin story based on a movie. You and the listeners can guess what movie we're referencing if you want, or just sit back and listen. And after that, we'll find out the real story. And Daryl is just waiting for this one.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay.
I'm excited to hear.
hmm
Well, maybe one summer, a handful of years ago, Tanya left the quiet country life in Calgary and moved to the bustling Peterborough area. That summer before high school started, she was wandering around town when she met Chris, a slick, cool guy throwing frisbees in the local park. Curious, Tanya approached and Chris offered to show her how to play that summer. Wait a second, Daryl. We're stopping this one. There's really only one right way to do this origin story.
hmm
Oh, well, tell me more, did Tanya catch on real fast? Tell us more, did Chris have a nice... maybe that isn't quite how you got into disc golf, so why don't you tell us how it really happened?
Oh wow!
That sounds spot on. It's incredible. You nailed it on the first go.
You have a feature in the theater, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
why,
I'm
thank
feeling
you.
a little bit like Sandra D right now.
Yeah, we in high school we didn't know about disc sports at all. Although we did meet in middle school, we've known each other for a very long time. But disc sports for us started in just 2001, and for us it was ultimate. So we moved here to Bowmanville. Kevin McLeod, who you've had on your podcast before, promoting nationals back in the summer. He had been working at the school I was teaching at for about 5 years, and he said, have you tried this game Ultimate? I think you'll really like it. And I said, I said I don't really like team sports, which is I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, I dove right into Ultimate. So did Tanya, right from the hop. We love the game, the social aspects, the fact that men and women can play together on a field, and partners can play together. So we've been at that for 25 years, half of our lives. And disc golf really just kind of crept in there. We designed and built a course here in Bowmanville, just a little tonal course on a public park, collaborating with the town and Durham Ultimate Club, the local Ultimate Frisbee Club. And so that was kind of our gateway into it, but we didn't really know about the proper sport of disc golf. We designed the course for Ultimate Frisbees, a fairly short course designed for our students to get to know the game. So it wasn't until COVID, that was the real beginnings of us for, getting into that gateway drug of disc golf. So yeah, we kind of did it backwards. We said, along with Kevin and Catherine, our partners in Newcastle Disc Golf, we said, let's build a course. And then in doing so, we learned the game of disc golf. So
it gave us something to do, an excuse to get together, especially during a time when everything was shut down. We could be outside together, we could connect and build, and our work lives were drastically changed. 3 of us are teachers, and we're teaching virtually online, sitting on a computer, communicating like this every day, day in, day out. And anything we could do to get out of the house was absolute mint for us.
Right.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the ball golf course was closed. So when we got the go-ahead to build the course, they were shut down, and that allowed us to use some of their equipment that otherwise would be occupied by them. So yeah, just everything sort of aligned. The stars aligned for us to make it happen. And we dove right in, and we're obsessed with this sport ever since. So
yeah. I feel like that's kind of not everyone's origin story about how they got into it, but it's the once you start, it's like everything falls into place, and then it's like you're away to the races. Now, I'm not sure when you became PDGA members, but I know when we looked at your PDGA numbers, you're one number apart each, for both of your numbers. Was that? Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask you if that was something that, did you plan that?
Yeah.
Like, did you purposely make sure that you were one number apart, or?
We had no idea it would happen.
I just registered us. I did it for both of us. And I did Tanya first and myself next. She's much older than me, so I thought she should have no, just kidding. We're about 2.5 months apart. So yeah, I just women first. I always try to put women first, so she used the better number there.
Yeah, we both just realized at a point in the business and playing disc golf that this better be legit. If we were running tournaments, well, we had to be, we had to have a number to be sanctioned. We have to do all the testing and things like that. So it was time to make it real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, it's cool, and to have them close together is awesome for sure.
Yeah.
So when I did also look at your PDGA pages, it looks like, Chris, you were the first one to actually dip your toe into the tournament play back in 2022, and then Tanya jumped in 2023. So what drove each of you to first play your first tournament?
Great question.
That's a good one. Yeah, I think, we got the league going at our course, and it's been fantastic, like just meeting wonderful people in the area. There was really a void of courses in this region for a long time, and that was part of the reason we thought we needed a course in the area. And actually it was our members that they said, "Oh, are you thinking about playing this tournament? You thinking about playing that tournament?" And I hadn't really considered it myself. But I was pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoy the competitive aspects. And working toward a goal. Daryl, you said you're jumping into the MP 40. Good stuff. I was really silly and just said, I should just be pro right from the hop, which was really dumb because I get throttled in events. But I have learned a lot. That's what I like about playing in the pro divisions, is that I see excellent play, and I try to take a little bit of something from everyone I play with and learn from their approach. One friend of mine, he said, your first event, you actually placed in the pro division, and he said, you're gonna take the money? Are you crazy? you're now committed to playing pro for the rest of your life. And he seemed really stressed about it, but I wasn't. I just try to play up as much as I can and try to compete. And I played the Lucky Lions there last weekend, Tanya mentioned, and I placed 4 of 4 in my division. 2 of the players were, more than 10 years older than me. They have that experience and they know the courses. But I feel like I walked away a better player because I played with them. So, so that's I enjoy it. I managed to play second in provincials last year up in Huntsville, Ontario, and that was in the MP40. And this year I'm aging up to the MP50, so I'll be 50 in December.
Oh,
right.
My entry was not the same.
Well, I think that's something. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, sorry. I would definitely not prefer to be competitive. I think it's pretty common knowledge that this is the hardest sport in the world. I'm not sure I even like it. But I think what really prompted me to try tournaments was if we were running tournaments and hosting all these people, I thought it would be really valuable to know what they're all about. So for me, it's a little bit of a reconnaissance mission. So I go out and I get to know the people and I get to know, what are people doing? How are people managing all these bodies and getting them to move through courses in a number of days and have a good time? And then before I knew it, I did start to feel more comfortable, and it helps me put on my TD hat as well and say, I sort of know what's going on. I know what it's like on both sides of the field. I can relate to the players. I can relate to the tournament directors. And I think the biggest thing as well on top of that is just saying it's okay for women to go out and give it a chance. So my very first tournament ever was a CWE tournament. I was terrified, and I was about to run my own CWE, my Canadian Women's event. Yeah. And I said, I really have to do this. I have to be brave enough. And I drove up to Peterborough, and Chris tapped me on the back. He's like, you've got this. Yeah. And it was an incredible experience to be out there with other people just taking a chance. And I can't tell you how many women play those CWEs who've never, ever done a tournament before. And so that's thinking about highlights, that's definitely a highlight for me was just taking that chance.
Yeah.
And I usually place last. So the last 2 provincials I've placed last. And on the tournament this weekend, I tied for second last with 3 other people.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Moving up. That's always
good. And
good.
it went to a playoff.
Oh,
even
sweet.
went to a playoff.
Great. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I think, Chris, we're in the same boat because I'm MP40 this year, but I'll be 50 in February. So next year I'm moving up to that 50 division. So yeah, we have a lot in common.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you both, which do you prefer? Because I know talking to the president of our disc golf association here, he TDs a lot of the Edmonton disc golf events and doesn't get a chance to play in a lot of events outside of Edmonton. And I say to him, I'm like, do you ever have like FOMO for the younger listeners of not playing the events? And he said he gets as much joy out of running an event and making sure the event all goes great as much as he does actually playing an event. So which do you prefer, playing in an event or actually TDing an event?
Yeah, I'll start with that one. I think I enjoy running an event more than playing, just because I think we're both kind of control freaks, and if you can plan and make things run well, and at the end of the tournament you say you did your best to make everyone enjoy the events, that's really rewarding. You're bringing joy to maybe 100 or 200 people, or in nationals there was almost 500 people, and so you feel like you're part of that experience. Playing is stressful. I get the jitters. I enjoy it once I get going, but it is, it gets in your head. That the whole psychological aspect of disc golf is a challenge. I think sports psychology is something all disc golfers need a little bit of help with.
Yeah, interestingly, I have the same response, but my feelings are different. So I would say during the Lake Ontario Open this summer, of which we've done 2, so that's a combined tournament with Cedar Creek, Oak Goat, and ourselves, a 2-day event. Rebecca Dawn asked me, she was on hole 18 and I was taking some photos, and she said, Tanya, she said, would you rather be playing right now or hosting? And I said, I really don't know. And then I knew the second day of nationals, when I was introducing the incredible women all day long, bringing them to the course and hosting them, I knew at that moment that was absolutely my favorite. But the opposite to Chris, I find competing less stressful. Probably because I'm not playing for any money.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good answer.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, that's great. Well, and when we talked about your origin stories and you guys talked about starting out in Ultimate, so obviously your 175 Ultimate disc or whatever they were, those were your first Ultimate discs or Frisbees that you threw. But do you guys remember what your first disc golf discs you had? And do you still have them?
Yes. And yes. So, yeah, I mean, there's one.
Oh, hang on. Give me
There's
1 second
Tanya's.
here.
Ooh.
This is a very special disc to me. His name
Okay.
is Mr. Miyagi. So if you've ever played with me before, you know that I have names for all my discs. So when
Right.
I'm mad at them, I can yell and swear and give them a name.
Yeah.
They've been known to get timeouts before, and they need to go in the bottom of the bag or have a break.
She is a
Yeah.
kindergarten teacher. That may be obvious.
So this disc is really special. We were beginner disc golfers considering and building a course, and we were up in, what's the course name just north of us?
Nestleton.
In Nestleton, a little 9-hole, and we were throwing our ultimate discs with Kevin and Catherine, and this woman, Hamindi Mile, I believe her name is.
Made a heard of her.
And Mindy came up to us after our first round and she said, I really think you need to try one of these. And I said, no way, there's no way, I can't control that thing.
Mhm.
And she said, just try it for one round. And I played it and it was even horribler than the first round. And after the round, she said, that disc is yours. Please keep it, please try. And we haven't
Wow.
stopped since.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome, yeah.
Mindy's been a great ambassador of the sport in the area, especially great at getting good, useful discs in women's hands, and yeah, she really helped Tanya at the start, so that was awesome.
And your first disc?
So I was out in BC with friends, teacher friends of mine. Kevin was among them. This is my Stratus, which at the time I didn't really appreciate how great a disc it is. But it's like my baby, and I hope I never lose it or never breaks. But yeah, it's just a nice little right turning disc. You know, it predates the 4-number system. It's got a little one arrow slightly right, and that's what it does for me. If I throw it on a flat or a little bit of ante, it holds that turn. And for a guy that can't forehand very well, that's been my crutch. But I've been trying to work on my forehand and not avoid learning. So that was one of my first. That a magnet, and I think a Stratus, pretty straight flying. A Stratus, a magnet, and a Comet, I think were my first ones. So
okay,
Nice.
That's a good selection of them. And Tanya, you and I can share in that I went to my local disc golf store when I got into disc golf, and they had a wall. They said, don't buy a starter set, just go to that wall, pick a putter, pick a mid, and pick a fairway. And the putter that I picked was a Sensei as well. And it actually was, I got my first ace with it. Was the first ace I ever got was with that Sensei. So it still sticks around. Sometimes it's the bag captain, as Paul Ulibarri will say. It just goes in there to tell all the other discs what to do. It doesn't usually get thrown, but it's there. So
Ooh, I love that mentality.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, the hierarchy in the bag.
Me and Chris have a lot more in common because I don't have a forehand either. So I rely on a lot of understable backhand shots as well. So yeah.
Nice.
Well, now that we have your origins stories all set, we want to talk a little bit more about the actual Newcastle disc golf course. You kind of touched on it there, but how did it really all get started, and how did you get involved? And tell us all a little bit more about the course.
Started in the snow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was 2021
February.
And the previous fall, our friend Kevin McLeod, he always had the desire to design and build a course, but I think he recognized that he wouldn't be able to do it on his own. And so we chatted, and he had approached a number of properties in the area, a ski hill, a conservation area, a few golf courses. And Newcastle Golf and Country Club was the only place that actually replied to his inquiries.
okay.
In the end, it was fantastic because that was his top pick. And when we talked about it, of all the places he was trying to get a course put in, it was our favorite because the property is just beautiful. It's I'm not a big ball golfer, but when I wanted to golf on a nice course, Newcastle was the one in the area that I would go to. Just nice up and down, some undulating land, a creek running through it, some ponds, just a variety of landscapes. So yeah, the fact that they even would give us the chance to think about building a course there just felt like a real gift. And then in the winter we were trudging around in 1.5 feet of snow, imagining what a disc golf course would look like on the property. And course design is a lot of fun. The imagination required and the logistics of thinking about how it will flow. It's boatloads of work, but we really enjoyed problem solving the space and putting it all together in our mind, and then physically making it happen over the course of 3 months, basically.
It went fast.
We were full tilt from. Yeah.
We would leave our computers at 3:30 and be at the course till dark.
And finishing with a headlamp to try to get
and
open
then
for
all
May.
weekend, and we gathered up some of our friends and our family. My kids were incredible. Again, I can't thank them enough. They've helped at so many tournaments and picking up sticks and picking up sticks and picking up more sticks. And you have to imagine as well, at the ball golf course, when they built and designed it, they take a big tractor or bulldozer and just push everything into the bush. So a lot of this was just coming out from what they'd shoved in.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, that's neat.
Discovered some nice surprises along the way.
Yeah.
So some of the whimsy in our course design actually came from the things we found.
Oh, well, see, and that kind of leads me right into
golf yards and little interesting places that they had no idea existed. There's a fair bit of forest on that golf course property, as you saw. It's not like it's just a big open field and fairways up and down. It's it does have some nice forested areas, and that's again why we love the property, because we're not on the golf course proper. We're surrounding the golf course, and we're mostly in our own space. So
when we were inspired a little bit by Lynbrook, which was a disc golf course that only ran in the winter locally in Oshawa, and it ran in the winter time on a ball golf course. And so we were a bit inspired by that as well. But a big purpose of ours and a promise to the owner of the ball golf course was that we wouldn't interfere at all. So we really wanted the experience to be exclusive for both ball golfers, traditional ball golfers, as well as disc golfers. We didn't want that overlap to be uncomfortable, but we hoped that we would still be visible enough that we're not shying or hiding away.
Right. Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And, with my next question that I had lined up for the two of you, it's starting to come out just in talking with you. And, we got a chance to meet you over the summer, is that your personalities are shining through. And this course also has a real personality to it that is different to any of the courses that I've had a chance to play. So was it intentional to give it that kind of extra personality, or to differentiate it from a traditional disc golf course?
No, it evolved on its own.
Yeah, I think we said from the outset that we had played very few courses, and there was a few that our negative criticism of some courses was that you would leave that course the first time playing it, and you couldn't differentiate between 4, 5, 6 holes because they were so similar. Right. We really didn't want that. We wanted every hole to have its own character. Like literally, we named our holes, and that was important to us, that we felt like the name of the hole described its character.
That was a wonderful lunch break. That's what we do on our lunch breaks, is we'd sit down and we debate, and then we would each vote and cross off a name and say that we sort of felt, as we were designing it, we said, this is the signature hole. And then we would move on to another one and say, oh no, this one's going to be the signature hole.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. Our primary goal really is to make sure that someone came out of there and every hole was different. It gave them a different experience. And again, the property afforded that because of the variety of landscapes, the different forests. There's cedar and oak and planted pine forest to give you those rows of trees to throw through. There's their old driving range became our few open holes that we can really let it rip, right? Throw a drive a good distance. So
and of course the junkyard we found, with the broken down golf carts. So hole 3, it's called broken down golf carts because that's where we found them all. And they're really heavy and hard to move. So definitely, we thought, well, these aren't going to be moved by any of the equipment that we lack. So we're going to just live with it and decided that's going to be a feature. It took 3 of us to get the diesel canister dug out and just raised up
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, you're leading us right into the next question that we had, and we mentioned, we've seen the video as well, doing the awesome walkthrough. We know that the holes have got the names you see on the shirts there behind you, we can just mention a few. One of our favorites, or maybe not one of our favorites, but one of the ones that stood out a lot to us was Plinko. That was a great hole. We had Tunnel Vision as well, and you mentioned the broken down golf carts. Out of all the names of holes that you've put out there, do you have a favorite hole name? Not necessarily the favorite hole, but the favorite name of the hole?
Favorite name of the hole?
Great question.
I mean, yeah, you mentioned Plinko is sort of infamous. And, as a designer, you kind of get the Mr. Burns, kind of thing going, right? Where you're like, I'm going to be devilish here. And we, for me, it's Plinko. Yeah, the fact that we built a Plinko board to augment the name and sort of add to the vibe there, I think for me, it's Plinko. That's my favorite. Yeah.
I hate disc golf so much; it's difficult to decide.
Right.
I think Gardyloo Gulch has special meaning because Kevin looked out there and he said, "We're putting a hole," and I just thought, "You're crazy. This is a gulch."
Yeah.
This is a gulch and there's no way up and there's no way down. And it was literally the reason it's called Gardyloo Gulch. I don't know if you know, but in Scotland years ago, before facilities were available, they'd throw their stuff out the window.
Yeah.
Their unmentionables that they did in the evening. And just like you would shout 4 in ball golf, you would say, Gardyloo! And then the crap would come flying out the window.
Yeah.
And so we did find a lot of unmentionables. So that hole is located right before the old 18th hole, the 7th, like just as you're finishing their hole 17. Yeah. And so as you can imagine, ball golfers at that point have had quite a bit to drink. And there was quite a lot of other unmentionables in there. And we had to
beer cans and junk that people would throw over the cliff and that kind of thing. So,
right.
Yeah, that would make sense. Now, I mean, you mentioned it there about Plinko. One of the best surprises that you get when you've never played the course at all is when you walk up to Plinko, is you've got the motion activated noise. So you hear the noise of the
Price is
Right as you're walking up to the hole. And then you mentioned, I forget the name of the hole, but it's the portal, the one with the portal.
Tunnel Vision.
Yeah.
That's Tunnel Vision. Yeah. I think the first time we had taken the shortcut through and we were like, whose phone is that? Where's that coming from? And we didn't realize that, you've got the motion sensor there as well. So it's definitely got that.
I think you have to blame me for that. I do teach kindergarten and grabbing people's attention with a little novelty. So we do have a few other sounds that make their appearance time and again. Some Halloween sounds. And some Jurassic Park when the ferns are high in certain locations.
That's perfect. That's awesome.
I think going back to the Plinko, I mean, of course, Happy Gilmore, there's that sort of ball golf reference and Price is Right. It does just all seem to merge together in a nice, lovely way. So
so does that mean that we should get one more that after you throw and hit first available on Plinko, it'll be like, looks like the price is wrong or the throw was wrong, something like that? Exactly. There you go.
I think the other reason that I think a lot of this came out is it's been a heck of a lot of work. Maintaining a disc golf course, running a business, running events. And Chris and I, a few years ago, so pretty early on we looked at each other and we said, I think it's time to do a hard job and then something that makes us happy on the course. So there's been a few little things out there. Like when I found a broken, ugly, useless disc, I said, I think it belongs in this tree.
Yes,
there's just a few moments when you just are struck with a moment, and I think that was those little projects bring a little bit of joy and song to your heart.
Disc golf can be a serious game when you're in a tournament and you're trying to score well, but it's also just loads of fun and you're there with friends outside. I mean, it's all just happy joy, right? So just try to add to that joy.
Yeah Couldn't agree more.
Well, and the way I'm starting to think about it too, we can mention a couple other things is I'm a Swiftie here, and I feel that the Newcastle disc golf course has almost more Easter eggs than a Taylor Swift album because when you're walking around, you can also find the gnomes there. And I don't think I came across it. And I don't know, maybe it's still there to be hidden for me, but I never found that.
Oh, you didn't find
No,
it?
did you find it?
Yeah, well,
There's a
I didn't
door.
find it, but somebody on my card
Don't,
found it.
Charles, don't say.
Don't give it
Okay.
away.
Don't
I'm
give
not
it
gonna
away.
say.
It's
I'm not
better
gonna
to
say.
find them on your own.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
to
There
give
is a
people,
rumor
we can
that
give
there's
people
a
an
gnome on
idea.
every hole, but that's
Really?
not true.
Oh, okay.
There is not. There is not.
And also, some of the things out there are not our addition. They're just our members or guests to the course will put something there, and it becomes part of the course. And that's
Okay.
nice.
There you go.
But are we allowed to
There's a
say what it is?
waiting
Just
lady.
I would say, are we allowed to say what it is, just not where it is?
Oh, sure.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's a hidden door on one of the holes.
Yeah.
And when you open the door, there's a gnome hiding inside.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it in the video, but I never came across it on the course. But you did.
There you go.
There you go. So another reason to go back.
I don't remember if the person that showed it to me knew it was there, so they were showing it to me because they were like, "Oh, did you see this?" Or they just came across. I can't remember who I was playing with and whether they were a local or not. But yeah, I did see it.
That gnome is holding a little bird, and so if you touch the bird, it will ensure that you get birdies later in the course.
That's why my whole weekend was tough on the golf course.
There you
You said about getting out of your head. I needed about 4 rounds, not 3, to actually start getting out of my head. So
Yeah. Now you mentioned it a bit earlier about one of the stipulations was that you tried to build this on a ball golf course, and that you were not going to interact with that ball golf course. Designing this course, did that make it harder? Like, was there like areas that you wanted to go to, but then you realized, okay, we can't go that way because that's gonna kind of interfere a little bit?
Oh yeah, 100%. At all times when designing, we had to consider the safety of our disc golfers, and also the experience of ball golfers when they're there. We really didn't want our game interfering with theirs. You know, we don't want smashing chains right beside their green or their tee decks. And you know, there is crossover, absolutely. Often it's very positive. Most of the time, golfers will look at us and wonder what's going on, and they're inquisitive and they want to watch you throw, and that's mostly great experience. There's been very few negative interactions. One of our members was hit with a ball once, and that's the one story I've heard of someone getting hit by a ball on the course.
Right.
okay.
And, you know, in 5 years of coming on to 5 years of being open, I'm happy that it's happened that little. So
Yeah. Just want to quickly interject here and give a score update. Top of the 8th.
Top of the 8th.
5-1 Blue Jays.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
There you go.
So when you were saying about the interacting with the ball golfers, we had a friend with us, and on one of the holes there, I must be very much wooded and treed or something on the golf course side of it, because there's a lot of balls that seem to come through. They never come flying through, but they just are all kind of littered on the one
When
side.
you're looking for a disc.
When you're looking for a disc.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's balls everywhere. So our friend there thought that this was like golf heaven, right? So he started collecting golf balls.
Yeah.
And then we talked to him and we said, so you know those are heavy, right?
Yeah.
Like you're already full with your bags. How are you going to get this on the plane?
Yeah.
So then he kind of started to put them back. But for a minute there, he thought he was going to go home with like 2 bags of golf balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I view them as like litter on our disc golf course, and so
Yeah.
I see it as like a crushed beer can, and I pick it up and I'm like, this doesn't belong here. That belongs elsewhere. So
Yeah.
That's fair enough for sure.
Sometimes
now-
I just play fairy and throw them back onto the fairway.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And then, but then that probably confuses them as they come up and they're like, I knew I hit it up here and there's 17 balls. Like, which one was mine?
Number 1. Number 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'll tell you, when I'm driving around locally here in the Edmonton area, I've looked at, we have an old abandoned golf course on the way to one of our other disc golf courses. There's a par 3 course near us in the area, and I've always thought it would be a great place for a course. So do you guys have any tips or advice on how you might approach the course or the owners, and like what would you tell somebody who might want to get involved with that?
well, it's happened actually. The Hums contacted us. Yeah, Thomas and
Alicia Hums in Sudbury.
They
Right.
put in the Twin Stacks course there in Sudbury.
Right.
They had a chat with us before approaching golf course there, and we try to advise them as best we can. It's tough to advocate for a niche sport like this that people aren't really aware of. That's one of the things we battle, right? Is disc golf is still growing, which is great, but it is still unknown to much of the community. So it's a bit of educating to say, this is what the sport looks like. This is how we think it can augment your property and not interfere with your core business. That has to be key, right? That you're not going to affect negatively their business, that you're just going to bring more people to the course and bring more revenue. We do feel that having a disc golf course through the winter season is a great option, depending on where you live and the seasons you have. We did run a winter course for 3 winters, and it was successful. It wasn't nearly as busy as our summer course, of course, but we think that why not? That the property is not being used for 3 or 4 months through the winter. A course could with relative ease be set up on the property. Some superintendents of golf courses are concerned about damage, so like winter damage, and I can see that. But yeah, you would just have to make sure that you would shut down your course if you got a January thaw and it got mucky. You wouldn't want foot traffic on the course and causing damage, right? So I think if you just say, these are our approaches, and we'll make sure to protect the property. It can be a great marriage, but it has to be sort of nurtured. You really have to, as I said, start with educating them about what the sport is, and then try to build a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a podcast partner who's got the most bubbly personality who can probably take care of that for us.
Yeah. But you mentioned a closed ball golf course. I mean, that would be fantastic. But in disc golf, there's not a lot of money in disc golf. Everyone knows that you spend all your money on discs. And so that's a drawback of the sport, is that there's not a lot of revenue coming in to support it. So I think
the investment has to come from somewhere. And I think that's one of the big challenges in our scenario. We hadn't actually expected to make the investment that we did. Our sort of hope was that the ball golf course would say, hey, we'll give you permission, and then we own this course you built. And when it came time to actually making some purchases, buying tee pads and baskets, they were like, how about you just buy them and you just run this thing?
Right. So for us, it's essentially been, we lease the property. They take a good portion of our profits, and that affords us the space to use, and it's worked out fine. But it wasn't quite what we envisioned from the outset. We really thought we could say, here's something that we can build for you and you can run it, but they didn't have an interest in running it, again, just because they're unfamiliar with the sport. And
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I appreciate the advice on that. And we've gotten people in the comments kind of knowing locally what we're talking about here and having their own thoughts and opinions on it. So I think we're not the only ones who drive by and see some of these places. So,
I think after you design a course, that's all you do. Is you drive by places and you're imagining where you're going to be placing your baskets and tee pads.
I don't think that's limited to designing a course. I think every disc golfer
driving on the road.
I could see. That'd be a good place. That'd be a good place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on this podcast, we've certainly talked a lot about Canadian Nationals. We've always wanted to give it the proper, attention that it deserved. And as the biggest Canadian event of the year, all the effort that was put into it, we wanted to make sure to kind of give you guys a shout out as well. How do you two feel about being involved in such a big event?
She's the brains of the operation, so I'm gonna leave that answer to Tanya, because she can juggle 73 things at once, where I can say this tree needs to be cut down and deal with that, but she's better at all the moving parts.
I definitely wouldn't say that. I have to say that we owe a huge amount of gratitude to Daryl Bankus. That man manages a whole lot of things, and without his overall guidance and vision, I'm not sure any of it really would have happened. And the great news is that we have these incredible course designers who are also passionate, who could just say, I'll do my part, and make sure we're ready. And so amongst us all, the Double Dance and Gabe and Daryl and his team of incredibly awesome supporters and backers, we could not have done it without them. We just did our best to commit to holding NDG true, making sure that it was going to show well, and we would be at our best keeping up our end of the bargain.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? You really did do that, I would say, because one of my highlights, and I think it's yours as well, Daryl, was of the week was that very first day. There was a little bit of adversity at the Newcastle Disc Golf Course, and Daryl and I pulled up. And Daryl and I don't know if you know this, but we are a little bit like an old married couple. And when we put the two of us in a vehicle for a week, it really came out. So I drove past the golf course. He's like, park there, turn around here, turn around there. So we finally get ourselves parked, turned around. I'm about to wring his neck is where I'm at. And then we get out of the vehicle and we grab our bags, and who's there? But Tanya's there with a golf cart, ready to pick us up out on the road.
Yeah.
Takes us in. It almost, the way we flew in there with Brendan on the back, it almost felt like it was going to be an episode of Jackass there as we flew in, but it was so much fun, and we got to have a good first meet, and it really made the first day of Nationals so much more fun.
And you know what's better than having a memory? Well, not that. What's better than having the actual event is having the memory.
Oh.
I just want to bring it up because Tanya captured the event. And there we are. All three of us, three of us in the front, Brendan on the back, carrying the bags. He was caddying for us. So yeah, we found it on the Flickr album. And there you go. We're all there together on the disc golf cart heading into round one of Nationals.
Yeah. So there's a big congratulations to you for doing that. The other part that I really remember as well that you did at the Newcastle Disc Golf, I didn't notice it. It might have been done at the other ones, but I really noticed it there, was you had your friend doing the starting, and she asked us where we were from and what our course was, our local course. Yeah. And then when we got up to go on the first tee, I felt like I was on MPO getting an announcement of, this is Jeremy from Edmonton, and he hails from the Bailey Crossing Disc Golf Course. Yeah. and it just was awesome. That awesome added touch. Now, shortly after that, I threw it into the OB, but I don't think that had anything to do with it.
For 1 minute, you were on top of the world.
Yeah. So anyways, congrats on that. It was so amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks. We wanted everyone to enjoy their time. Of course, disc golf can be frustrating, but we wanted the course to play well, show well, and for people to have a great time. The weather was fantastic. It was a treat to see the FPOs play there on the Saturday. Some of the big names in the sport.
But our volunteers, really, before we think about the players, those volunteers manage every event. You just cannot do without them. Audrey Lopez last weekend. Thank you, Audrey, for saving my Valkyrie that got lost in the snarf. I mean, these are the people that really make your weekend. And Nicola France, who you met at the starting position, she's never even walked her course. She's just a colleague of mine who I work with every day, who said, Tanya, I know how much this matters to you, and I want to help you in any way. And I said, I know exactly what you can do for me. And she kicked it out of the boat.
And she did it to a T. Like, she did such a great job for sure. Well, now that's awesome.
For our kids on the extreme 14, the cliffhanger hole to help retreat off the cliff, and members that helped out, gave their time and helped with parking, that's a real treat to have people come together and assist.
Definitely.
Volunteers are what makes it all come together.
Yeah. And so as well too, what came out of Nationals and everything that happened was Canuck Hucks went out there, Jared and Jocelyn and Alexandra Paletto, as we talked about, and they did a great job with a walkthrough video. So we encourage everybody to go out to YouTube, check it out. And one of the things we heard from one of the younger players, Judah Hawks, he had mentioned that his dad was out there caddying for him for the weekend out at Nationals, and he loved the courses so much that he's actually planning a trip back with his friends next year to play all of those courses because he didn't get a chance to participate in Nationals. So I think that's a pretty good feather in your hat that people are going, I got to come back because I missed out by not playing Nationals this year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's great. That's great to hear. Yeah.
When we first built the course and then we heard that Daryl was going to be building down the road from us, we got a little bit jittery. We're like, oh no, with some competition. And then, the double Dan down. We're like, oh, geez, here's another. And it's actually created a wonderful community. So in the area, you have more choices. And then it's an excuse for a trip. You'll say, I'm going to travel through the GTA or across the country, and I can make a weekend of it. I can, I can make an event of traveling to these incredible courses. And there's much more of them out there, that's for sure. It was a treat for us to finally get east of the GTA just this past weekend, because it's something we don't get west. It's something we don't often get the chance to do.
Right.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Well, and I think, as you know, Tanya, from having some time out here in Alberta, driving, even going up to Project 15 and driving 45 minutes, that's still just a hop, skip, and a jump in that area. So you have so many nice courses really close by.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we also, we've talked a lot about nationals. We've talked about Newcastle and things like that. But we also know that disc golf can be played at college level as well. And we've heard that some elementary school and phys ed teachers are trying to incorporate disc golf as like a model in their lesson plans as well. And we heard that you're trying to help bridge that gap by coaching a high school disc golf team as well. You want to tell us a little bit how about that came about and how long you've been coaching for, Chris?
Sure. Yeah. Well, this also stems from Ultimate, I suppose. But I've been coaching Ultimate at our school for 20 years, 2 decades, and we've had lots of success. Our Bowmanville High School Talons compete well. We've won at provincials. We've placed second in nationals a number of times. So disc sports are strong at our school, and recently, the last 3 years, I've been adding disc golf as an extracurricular. It's not a sanctioned sport by our high school sports organization, by LASA, and that's a bit of a disadvantage. We are competing with the traditional sports, your volleyball, basketball, rugby, and that established sports often gets the focus. But yeah, no, I just today I had a practice after school. We had 16 people out throwing discs in the backfield. There was a bit of wind, which was great, just to show them what upwind and downwind throws can do. They enjoy it. It's been fun. We get them out to the local courses. We've got a core group of teachers in the area, in the Durham region, that are committed to getting at least one event running each season, fall and spring. And yeah, just some inter-school healthy competition. Daryl's hosting a tournament at Haute Goat on the 29th of October, and we have probably 8 schools involved in that, each of them bringing 8 to 12 disc golfers.
Awesome.
So that's where it starts, right? You get your young people involved. Parents can play with their kids. It's great for all ages. So yeah, we think it's just a really accessible sport.
Yeah.
Not expensive. Boys, girls, young, old, anyone should and could play disc golf. So that's my point of view. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun to get going.
We've had some support from the municipality as well, although the growth hasn't been very great in that. So last year we did get in their municipal calendar, and so you could take beginners lessons, and so I spearheaded that, and so I ran an adult beginners group and youth, and they called me up from the municipality and they said, "We only have 2 kids. Do you want to cancel it?" I said, "There's no way." I said, "We have 2 kids. I'm taking them out." So that was pretty incredible. We did put a squash on that for fall because we had so much going on. But in the spring, I'll do that again. Another beginners leagues for adults and youth, just introducing them to the sport. And you really never know what you get. We get some players who come out and they have trouble walking the whole course. So really, every time you don't know what you're going to get, and then you have other people who are strong athletes, and then they become future members and addicts. So you really never know.
Yeah And that's a great, because you want to get it introduced to as many people as you can. And are you finding that at the high school level at this point, do high school students have an awareness of disc golf, or is it like a whole new world to them? Do you ever meet any of them and they're like, "Oh yeah, Paul Macbeth, oh Gannon Burr," or are they not even sure what it is?
It's still a very rare student that is aware of that whole disc golf world. Often it's just the fact that a parent, their son or daughter
or uncle
are connected to someone that way, and they know the sport through a person, someone they know. It still hasn't reached a real mainstream audience in our area anyways. Even Ultimate,
it depends really on the school. So I've traditionally coached Ultimate in the elementary schools, grades 4 to 8. And last 2 years, the kids were finally brave enough to enter a tournament. So 3 years ago, my grade 7 and 8s we practiced together, and they were too afraid to even go to a tournament. None of them would sign up and go with me.
Oh,
Wow.
well, there you go.
My
So-
my technique for growing it partly is just through osmosis. So right now my practice basket is just sitting in the side of my classroom, and so my students they come in and they will ask, what is this thing? What is this thing with chains on it? And so it's an educational moment where I can say, well, this is part of the sport, and
Yeah.
so right now that's my technique, is just leave it there in the periphery and have it
Yeah.
as a conversation starter.
Oh, good.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
And then, so my curiosity too, as you're kind of getting to develop it more and you're having players come out. So Daryl's got that tournament out at Oat Goat. Are you following the same format as what they would do in college and kind of doing that 4-person best shot doubles type format? Is that how you're trying to include kids and get them kind of working as a team at the sport?
So not currently. So far, we're going with the mindset that a teenager is about themselves, which
Really?
is you can kind of embrace that, and they want to be competitive often. Often they don't want to be. Sometimes they'll just be in the club and they'll say, I'm not going to go to that inter-school competition. They don't want that stress. They just want to learn something new. So we try to make it available for anyone. You can compete or not. The first round will be a singles round, and that's sort of for some trophies that we'll make up. Pretty simple. But the afternoon round will be a random doubles, and again, just try to connect them to someone else, maybe from another school, and just meet someone and have some fun. And that doubles format is obviously a way to score a bit better, right? To use that bestest format, and so just sort of a fun afternoon round as a way to bookend the event.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. For Tanya, we spoke earlier on about your first ever event. We saw that it was the CWE, the Canadian Women's Event, as you mentioned earlier. One of our biggest supporters is Andrea Michaud, and we know that she's all about connecting women and other undeserved markets as well, getting them into disc golf. And we know that part of getting women into disc golf is a big thing, big passion of yours as well. Can you tell us a little bit about what? I mean, we know that getting more women into disc golf is a big thing for the future. Want to let us know what makes it like a big passion of yours to get people into disc golf?
Well, I think for me, it's about feeling comfortable. I'm sitting beside this MPO player and MP50 player who's won money. He's successful, and Chris naturally picks up sport. He's good at lots of sports he tries. And traditionally, I've not been very sporty. I didn't play sports since in high school. The first team sport I ever played was ultimate. And so finding something that I felt safe doing and connected doing was really important. So it's not for me about winning, but about keeping my body moving, making women feel safe and secure. I don't really care what sport you do. But if you happen to find disc golf and get up off your butt and feel safe and comfortable, that's really important to me. And I want to create a space for that. And so I met Mindy, as I said earlier, and then Andrea, and they were running this thing called the CWE. And I said, I'll do one. But I'd never run a tournament before. And so by accident, I sort of joined the meetings so I could learn about what a tournament was. And I still don't really understand how propagating goes and all this stuff. But Andrea, she walked me right through step by step. She sat there with me. I'm tournament manager, so I could figure that all out, and gave me all the patience and time in the world. And I have to say that this year's event really was managed by 4 volunteers, Andrea, Mindy, and Jessica Benoit in Winnipeg. And via video chats like this, we did our best to coordinate. I think it was 18 events we had this summer.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's fantastic way, Tanya, to get women into events for sure. Because I know that we've talked to Carrie Neal as an example out here in Western Canada. She's a big proponent of women's disc golf. And we know the disc golf community is predominantly male. She gave us some good advice where she says not only about having women's tournaments, but it's like getting men out to help volunteer at those women's tournaments and bridge that gap, and to show that it's not just the women supporting women, it's everybody supporting each other in the community. She's also said a couple things about just having random flip doubles and finding different ways that you can.
I watched her episode. She had so many great suggestions. Yeah.
So she has some of those different suggestions there. Do you have any suggestions of your own that you would put out there that you found to be successful in introducing women to disc golf?
I would absolutely say that scoring seems to be a barrier, especially right at the beginning. There's a lot of resistance to downloading UDisc and an app and maybe paying for something. So I think, just eliminating the score to begin with. Definitely playing a lot of doubles, so it's fun and it's social, or handicap. So in our league, we pride that in our NDG community, almost half of us are women. And I think that's
Okay.
because we don't emphasize, so league prizes don't go to the best score or always to CTP. So we do handicap leagues,
Random prizes.
sometimes just random prizes. And I think that that's a way for women to feel accepted. I know a lot of women aren't going to put money on the line and join, random doubles if they're afraid no man wants to be on their team.
No, that's fair comments for sure. And that's awesome that you guys have 50% of your members are women. And I really like the way that UDisc has given the ability, because my wife will come out with me and I can put her on a card now and just put her on an activity round. You can get the stats. That helps the courses out. It helps build the community. And she's got no pressure. She's out there with her glitch and she throws it as many times as she wants and walks as many holes as she wants and has the best time that way. And then just laughs at me as I get excited or frustrated or whatever happens in my round. So
absolutely. I had a beginner come out who was recovering from a concussion and she just never putted because the sound of the chains bothered her so much. But she had a great time. It was pouring rain and nobody else came out and she said, I'll still come out. So Chris and I went out with her and we had a great time and she just didn't put it in the basket and she was fine with that.
That's awesome. Yeah. You're talking about random flip doubles and getting more women out there and things like that. I just want to give a shout out to Tanya because we have a local event coming up in Edmonton, the Glow Dubs event that the people are putting on for Halloween. And I think there's probably 30 people signed up and she's the only woman signed up at the moment.
Oh,
so
awesome.
if there are any other females listening that want to join up, definitely get out there, get your name on there. Don't be intimidated by the fact that it looks like they're all, mixed at the moment, but
and 95% of us are good people. The other 5%, just let us know. We'll deal with them.
Absolutely. The disc golf community is probably one of the only reasons I stick around. On the weekend, I know I'm not going to place well, but Nico came by after the first round and checked in to make sure I was okay.
that kid's awesome.
And the players just, have each other's backs. There's I'd say it's closer to 99% of us are good.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's fair. And Nico, he definitely ups it for everybody. He's a great example that everyone should be looking to follow. Yeah. And he's 11 years old or 12 years old?
The kid that never ages. I don't know, man.
12 going on 40.
Yeah.
And maturity and gameplay, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, we're getting to the end of the episode here, and I always like to, Daryl, I like to do my research, right?
Yeah, you do.
I love to. And I found a cool fact out that you didn't know, I'm sure, about the Newcastle disc golf course.
Okay.
And did you know we played 18 holes?
We did.
When I was looking at the layouts, there's actually 20 holes on the course.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the holes is between 14 and 15. So 14's that super, super steep.
Oh, the reverse par 4.
Yeah.
The layup first shot within. Yeah. Okay. I know that one.
And then throw it to the heavens, that one.
Yeah.
And then, so it's between that one and then that U-turn on the right.
The dog leg right.
Yeah.
There's a hole in between those two?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think when we were playing a practice round, I thought there was a path and I tried to walk up it. I think that might be in that area there. So that's one of them. But then at the very, very end, after hole 18, the 20th hole, where those practice nets were?
Yes.
So there's a hole that goes straight up there, just a short little hole.
Back towards
the
T1.
Practice basket kind of thing, towards T1, in that area. About 147 feet.
Yeah.
So not too far. But one of the things they do is that for that hole, they make circle 1 an island.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So speaking about islands...
Take a relaxing cruise, however the ship goes down. You manage to swim to an island, and fortunately for you, there's an 18-hole disc golf course. Which 3 discs are you taking with you on the island?
Yeah, I think people in the chat now, Jeremy, they're guessing it. As soon as you say that you're going to bring up a history fact or you're going to bring up something, people know that it's that time. It's that time of the show where we say that you're on this fictitious boat. It goes down. You pick your disc. You swim to this fictitious island. I like to keep saying this, that it's fictitious. But luckily you've got your favorite 3 discs with you to play on this island. Which 3 discs are you going to have with you? And I think we'll start with Tanya.
Oh no, please don't. Start with Chris.
She's still deciding.
Okay,
I'm
well then we'll
still
start with Chris.
deciding.
We were talking about this before. She brought her whole bag
I
here.
bought my own bag.
Yeah,
Gotta go with Chris.
but I'm committed. I'm committed. Well, you already know one because I showed it earlier. My Stratus.
Right.
That's my mid, my trusty right turning disc that I've aced. I've hole 9 a couple times at Newcastle. Hole 11 I aced with this bad boy. Yeah, I love it. I got my signatures on the back. We like that tradition of your card mates signing your disc when they see you ace. So that's my mid. My putter, although I don't use it for putting, it's my throwing putter. My Kristen Tatar Pure. I got this at one of those trilogy events up in Lindsay, actually, a fun little event where you play with just the 3 discs that you get for the event. Nice straight fire. Shout out to my friend Brock, who said, Chris, you got to get a Pure. They just go straight, and generally it does. So that's my putter. And this T-Bird 3 has been a great addition. We have 2 kids. They're not kids anymore. They're 20 and 22 years old. We bought this for my daughter, our youngest. And it's a bit like when Homer bought a bowling ball for his wife, Marge. We were trying to get her into disc golf, and she wasn't really having it. She likes the outdoors. She's really outdoorsy, but just doesn't like competition. So this we bought for her, but it's been adopted by me. So that's my driver, my trusty T-Bird 3 that really helped me at a number of events. Yep.
Good.
All right, I guess it's time.
Yeah.
All right.
And as she grabs her disc, I'll say that I don't care who makes the disc that I'm throwing. We do try to support Daredevil discs. We've done that since the beginning with Ultimate and Disc Golf because it's a Canadian-made company. So I don't have a Daredevil in there, but there's quite a few Daredevils in my bag.
Okay,
So-
fair enough.
So speaking of Daredevil, I'd have to say I think I'm going to bring Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, the woodchuck?
Yeah, it sure is. Daredevil
Ooh.
woodchuck.
Yeah.
And
Soft.
when he's misbehaved, I call him Chucky, of course. So this is Woody. I think I'd have to bring Woody. You already met Mr. Miyagi, so I think he has to stay.
Okay.
And then
What are the numbers on a
I'm
woodchuck for
bring-
people that are not familiar?
Oh,
The numbers on it, it's a 22-10.
yeah.
But it's this.
Okay.
It's the quality of this. That
Yeah,
makes
for
it
sure.
feel it.
Because I hit a lot of things. And that desert island is probably going to be filled with trees. So then I'd say I have to bring Lisa Loeb Leopard. So Lisa Loeb Leopard, the Leopard is the only ace disc I've ever aced with. Not this one. Unfortunately, I lost it on closing day at Lynbrook last winter
Okay.
in the water, second last hole of the whole event.
Oh.
So, but it was a Leopard. She's in the drink, but this is Lisa Loeb number 2.
Yeah.
So I'd have to say bring Lisa because she flies right. I can get her to hold a little bit of a right bend for me.
Okay.
I don't know what the numbers are because they're worn off.
6.5
And then
negative
it's
2
really,
1.
really tricky.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
So then it gets really, really tricky because then I don't have like a driver that's going to be just a regular driver. And usually I go with a T-Bird, but I lost a T-Bird as well. I'm not very good at disc golf. So I lost 2 of my really good T-Birds, and now I have a new one, but it's a bit heavy for me.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to have to go with Neil Leslie Diamond. So Neil Leslie Diamond, this is from Mindy. When I was finally ready to try a driver, this is one of the ones she put in my hands. It's a lightweight driver.
Yeah.
It will go a little right. I can sometimes get it to do a nice S on the rare occasion. And because I like my diamond so much, a member of mine made me a beautiful diamond.
Ooh, nice.
This isn't one I throw. This is just special. But it does say 0 days without swearing on the back. So that one has to stay home because I'm sure I'll be swearing a lot on the island.
Yeah.
That's so good.
That's awesome. So we're going to have to do a double recap. So we got a Stratus.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Pure, and we have a T-Bird 3.
Yes.
G-Star T-Bird 3, I would like to add. And then we also have the Woody Woodchuck.
No.
Woody
Woody Harrelson
Harrelson.
/ Chucky Woodchuck.
Yes. And then we have
The Lisa Loeb Leopard.
Leopard 3.
And you know what? I just wish that Lisa Loeb Leopard would stay. That's all I wish it would do.
Nice.
Yeah.
And finishing it off with Neil.
Yeah.
Leslie
Neil
Diamond.
Leslie Diamond.
Neil
Yeah.
Leslie Diamond. That's
Yeah.
a sweet disc. Hey, Caroline?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I got that.
Sweet.
So the extra bit that we add on to this is if you could take, I mean, maybe we, sometimes we ask these guests and we almost know what course they're going to pick before we say this, but if you had to transport, or if you could transport one course onto the island, so that was the only course you got to play with those 3 discs for the rest until the time you got rescued, which course would you transport to the island?
Yeah, so I can picture you, Tanya, on this island. I picture you talking to the discs kind of like Tom Hanks talking to Wilson a little bit. I see those conversations happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be you, me. That's exactly where I would go to. And so what course are you going to play with your 3 friends there that you've brought with you?
We did go out west your way this summer, and
Meadowview was it Meadow?
Aspen
No.
Meadows?
Aspen Meadows?
Aspen
Meadows
Meadows.
was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed that course.
East
That
and
was,
west.
that was a blast.
Yeah, and
then-
Sea Change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bailey's,
change,
let's see.
that was a blast.
But there was this one in BC that we played twice. So we did 10 days in BC, played 10 courses and only won twice. It was in Trinity.
No, Mission.
Mission?
The course in Mission.
Mission.
Okay.
It was a little local 9-hole course. And we met a local, of course, who showed us the long route. And it was just a little piece of lovely.
Nice park course. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe that one for me.
It was challenging, but open
Centennial
enough
Park?
No,
it's
I
in
don't
the
know.
town of Mission, BC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
it called Centennial Park?
It's called Centennial Park in Mission, BC. Yeah.
Okay,
there-
yeah. We really
It could be the
enjoyed
one that
one
you're
both.
thinking of.
Yeah,
Well,
I
we'll
think so, yeah.
Oh, so you still have to pick one of these courses. You've told us them all now.
God.
Which is the one?
Sea change for me. I like the length of that course. It was good. It was good fun.
Yes.
I mean, I want to say NDG because I'll never do well at it. So it'd give me
Yeah.
a lot of time to practice. But I think I'm going to pick that one in Mission.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we will tell you though, had we known, like Sea Change is literally in our backyard. You
Yeah.
are as close as you could possibly get to the 2 of us. So if you come out this way again, you have to let us know because we'll be out there in a minute to have the MP50 school us, and then Tanya, you and I can have a good time. So
Sounds perfect. Sounds perfect, Jeremy.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
We will.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, guys. But before we let you go, we want to give you a chance to shout out anybody that, anything we didn't cover, or anybody else that you might want to give a shout out and a thanks to, or anything that you've got coming up for you or your course as well.
Okay, I have one thing in mind that just sort of popped into my head, and this is a recommendation for established clubs. We do something really silly and fun every April. And I think I had the idea, and some people thought I was crazy, and I am sometimes. But April 1st, we try to have it in and around April 1st, maybe on actual April 1st. But we have something called Sloof Lurpa, which is an event at the beginning of our summer season where we play our course in reverse, where you throw from 3 meters from the basket, from the target, and you play your entire course in reverse. Landing your disc on the tee pad is getting it in the target.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
it flips the whole course upside down. What was a left dog leg is now a right dog leg, and the idea of trying to get your disc to land on this flat surface is very unusual. It's very anti-disc golf, not going into the basket. It's all backwards and upside down. So Sloof Lurpa, of course, is April Fool's spelled backwards, and we've always enjoyed that event. It's just a ridiculous, fun event. It sounds a bit like Sean Galbraith's Crazy
Mando
Yeah,
Mayhem.
I really want to do that one.
Yeah. So I think just sometimes doing something ridiculous and fun should be something that you do. And I'll just say that it's been awesome to partner with my partner in disc golf and share the joy of the sport and try to share it with lots of people. So that's my big shout out is to my wife Tanya, who's just awesome and a great ambassador for the sport.
Awesome. That's a great way to finish it. And Tanya, how about yourself? Do you have anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, the community, our members, the volunteers, the people that just have showed up. We opened our course, and then Chris Oslands reached out and said, can I run an event at your course? We're like, yep, because we don't know what to do. And so, we hosted our 5th Four Fathers event this summer, thanks to Oz. And that's just incredible, showing us the ropes. And at that first event, Kara was his assistant TD. So we met Carol and Jeff. And just an incredible community of people by our sides. I've mentioned the people on the Canadian Women's Event Committee, and I can't imagine a better community of people, very similar to Ultimate, and we're very thankful to be a part of it all.
And just thanks to
fantastic.
you guys, your vibes you bring to the sport and your podcast, and seeing you introduce at the Canadian Championship was just perfect to get us started. So yeah, thanks so much for having us. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, it's our pleasure.
Yeah, we appreciate the kind words. Thank you. It was awesome having you. And I'll tell you, I did not play my best disc golf at Nationals. Every stroke I took, Daryl took off of his game, so he had a great weekend. I didn't have as good of one. But all this chat about Newcastle means I got to come back and head out. So maybe I'll have to talk to Judah Hawk's dad and see when that trip is that he's putting together. So
we'd love to host you. There's always we can always make lots of room and find accommodations.
Oh, fantastic.
Perfect.
Well, thanks a lot. And if anything else comes up throughout the year and you want us to shout it out, just reach out to us. We can get it on our socials or mention it in an episode.
That's great.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
How are the Jays doing?
Oh, Jays, yes.
It's still 5-1, bottom of the 9th.
All right, here we go.
Right, good.
Okay, you can watch the end of the game.
Might
There
just
you
catch
go.
the last part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Thanks.
See ya.
Hey, exactly. Yeah. And
So much fun.
yeah, that's the welcome, and that's the enjoyment that we had when we were out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And exactly. This interview that we had tonight.
Yeah.
Picture that for 7 days. Essentially, we were there 6 days or so, or 5 days. And it was just that kind of thing. So I really meant it like that. When she showed up with that golf cart, you and I were just at the finish of a parking argument. And everything turned around immediately when Tanya showed up with a golf cart.
Yeah, and like she said, like we driving from there, dropped us off at the check-in booth. Her daughter was in there.
Yes.
We were kind of like, oh, we're gonna pick up our player pack. What are we gonna do with it? She was like, oh, it's okay. Just come back after your round and pick it up. We'll keep it here for you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Then we get to hole 1. Like Tanya said, her school friend was there. I think she might have been playing hooky off, to do it, but she was there, like you said, announcing us, asking us, not just saying, okay, we've got Jeremy, Daryl, John, and Paul. John, you're up. No, it was hailing from
Next on the
Edmonton,
tee.
Alberta, playing out of this course, and yeah, it was great. And I did put it up on screen, but I will just mention it again because you mentioned it. Dina Talgoy is from Winnipeg.
Yes.
She said that in Winnipeg they don't have any disc golf courses. So she
has courses, but I don't think she's got a club.
Doesn't
right?
have any clubs. Yeah. So they asked her, which club she was out of, and she said, "Can I adopt Newcastle as my home club?" So that's what they did. She ended up announcing her as Newcastle. Here we go. Winnipeg doesn't have any disc golf clubs, so I asked if they could adopt me and name NDG as my club. So
That's fantastic. Yeah, love that. So that gets us to the end of the episode. We always appreciate you listening this far, and we appreciate it even more if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel, help push us up so that we can give you more great content like this, give you more great guests. We're always looking for your comments. You can tell us what you thought about the guests. If there were other ones, you're like, how have you guys not talked to this person yet? Let us know.
Absolutely.
We want to hear all of it. We're at 460 subscribers last time I checked. 40 more gets us to 500, our next big giveaway. As I said, we'll post that up a little bit later. Don't forget, we got some sweet, sweet discount codes for you. We got 3 different ways you can use the code CHAINOUT. You can use it at BR Disc Golf and get 10% off at checkout. Add a space between chain and out and use it at Cardinal Disc Golf and get 10% off your gear there. And then use it at Chains the Disc Golf board game and you can get 25% off. And then after that, we still have one more code for you. That's COP15, Chain Out Podcast 15. Use that at Goat Towel, and then you can get 15% off.
There you go.
Get an awesome towel there. So that covers our discounts that we've got. If you want to support us further, we appreciate it if you go check out our Patreon. You can join up for free just to try it out and get our link to join our Around the Basket episodes like we'll be doing shortly. Or you can join at a paid level. And if you do, you get your name an extra time on that wheel, because every person who's part of the paid member of Patreon gets a free entry and still gets a chance to enter in the ways that we ask you to on our socials. Did I hit it all?
You did. Like I said, you're faster than me pushing the button, so you need to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, so join us in about 15 minutes or less. I think we'll have a quick break, and then we'll get right into our Around the Basket, and we'll put on our little pre-show for you there before that.
Yeah.
And Daryl, I think we should finish this one how we started. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
I might need your help. Do you got it in you?
Let's go for it.
All right.
Change my mind.
So this weekend, I think at this tournament we're going to be in, you're going to be using your Firebird a lot.
I probably am, yeah.
So I have a song.
Oh, okay.
Go Firebird on hole 1 at Rundle Park.
Go Firebird, go Firebird.
Make the Mando and don't hit the tree bark.
Go Firebird, go Firebird.
Keep up the pace. Get the ace. And don't chain out. Thanks, everybody.
Let me quickly get off screen.